You're listening to Just Hit Play with your hosts, Peter and Nick Cabral. If you're tired of your stagnant, streamed music feed, then strap yourselves in for an intergenerational sonic journey through Peter and Nick's favorite songs.
Welcome to episode 91 of Just Hit Play. I'm your host, Peter. With me is my co-host, Nick. Nick, how's it going?
It's going well. Feels good to be back. I've had a super busy last few weeks.
Yeah, me too.
Everything sort of came to a head at once for me, like with just life in general. Had a bunch of deadlines and things of that nature. So yeah, it's good to be back talking to you again, talking about music and life. I'm looking forward to it. How are you doing?
It's good. I've been busy myself. I was away twice. I did 2 work trips. I was in Gladstone for a week, and then I was in a town called Townsville for about 4 days. So I was away for pretty much 2 weeks. So we couldn't record anything, which was a shame.
Yeah. But it's like I said, it's good to get back to it. I don't know about you, but I've missed having just an hour every week to relax and
listen
talk
to music
and chat and listen. Yeah, talk about some music, which we both love. So it's all good.
Well, let's, and it's Easter weekend, so happy Easter to everyone. Hope the Easter Bunny is very giving this year. Hope everyone gets a lot of chocolate.
Yes, hopefully. Happy Easter. I'm looking forward to the mini eggs. That's always my favorite. I will demolish mini eggs. Whatever quantity of mini eggs is put in front of me, I'll destroy it. Yeah, no problem.
Are you going home to Paris and Milton for Easter?
Yep. Going, so Friday night Milton, Saturday Paris, and then I have to drive back to Toronto Saturday night because I work at 10 a.m. on Sunday.
Oh, fun times.
Yeah, busy weekend coming up.
Cool, yes. And it's starting to get cool now. So if you remember when you were 11 or 10, when you visited Australia, this was the month you came. And the weather is getting a little bit cooler, so it's quite lovely. Spring is not spring, I guess it's fall. Fall is starting to finally show up, which is great.
And conversely here, it's starting to get warmer. We've hit consecutive days in the double digits. So yeah, that's a nice feeling. The long winter's coming to an end finally.
That is a nice feeling. Yeah, cool. All right, let's get into some music. So this has been in a few weeks in waiting. So we're going to listen to a song called Boys Wanna Be Her by Peaches. Just hit play so we can hear a little bit of Peaches. So there was a little bit of Boys Wanna Be Her. So, what did you think? Do you want to be her? What did you think about Peaches?
I do want to be here after this song. I thought this track was absolutely electric.
Yeah.
It's a song I didn't know I wanted, but it scratches a perfect itch for me. And I almost want to say I can't really find a flaw in it. I really enjoyed this song a lot.
It's that dirty version of glam rock. With what can I say about this song? I love Peaches. I've loved the song for a long time, and Peaches has been around for quite a bit of time, still recording to this day. I just love this song so much. When I first heard it, it was like a bolt out of the blue. I wasn't expecting it, like you said. I was like, how have I gone my life without knowing about Peaches? And I learned about Peaches.
A dirty version of glam rock is the perfect way to put it, I think, because there's a lot of parts of glam rock that I enjoy a lot, but I also don't like how clean and overproduced it can be at times, how it's engineered to just sound perfect and all of that. So this was really refreshing to hear something gritty and raw and rough around the edges. I thought it was sick. And the first time I listened to the song, I had the volume louder than I expected, than I knew. So when it started and like the bass line starts and then the beautiful piercing guitar comes in, it was crazy. Like I felt like it was reverberating around inside my head. So made the first listen even better, and
Right. Yeah.
it's been a song I've really enjoyed since then.
Well, let's touch a little bit about Peaches. So she was born Meryl Nisker in Toronto. So she's a Canadian artist
Nice.
and started off as a folk artist, strangely enough. So she was traveling around Toronto playing in cafes, and she was part of a folk trio, and they used to play. I think they were called Mermaid Cafe, or they played in a place called Mermaid Cafe. I couldn't really figure that one out. And then in the 90s, she quit the folk band and moved to Berlin and became this glam sort of pop icon, which is Peaches.
Very interesting. Nice to hear that she's a Toronto artist. Shout out. Yeah. Moving to Berlin, that's an interesting one. I wonder how that sort of shaped the trajectory of her sound, of the music she was writing. I could definitely see a lot of the glam rock influences coming from there. Like, especially after watching the video. Have you seen the video for this song?
I have seen the video for this song.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. Yeah.
The outfits, the makeup, love it all. I think it's really cool. Very cool aesthetic. And that seems very Berlin-esque in a way to me.
One of the great things about Peaches too is she's very tongue-in-cheek, and a lot of her lyrics or her song titles or album titles are very sexual in nature. Yeah, so the album title this comes from is called "Impeach My Bush," and take that for what it is. It can mean many, many different things. So that's the name of the album.
Interesting. Good album name. So when did this come out? Like, I have no frame of reference in my head for when this was released, because in my head I want to say 90s, but at the same time, like, that makes me think early 2000s, because that's when George W. was getting up to his shenanigans and war crimes.
Yeah, this came out in 2006, so it's right in that time. Yeah.
That's later than I expected.
Yeah. She's been around, this version of Peaches has been around since 95, but this song and album came out in 2006.
Okay, so you were already an existing fan of Peaches when this song came out?
Nope, this is my first introduction. Well, okay, maybe not. I'm trying to rethink my history. So I first heard of Peaches she was on the soundtrack for Lost in Translation. Do you know the movie Lost in Translation?
I love that movie, yeah.
There's a scene where Bill Murray is in the strip joint and Scarlett Johansson walks in. That's a Peaches song that they're listening to.
There. Okay. Nice.
Yeah. I think there's a line like "suck on my titties" or something in that strip joint scene.
Sure.
So I think that's when I first heard of Peaches. I was like, that's a really cool song. And then I went and found a little bit more songs from her and found this one.
That soundtrack is the gift that keeps on giving, because I found My Bloody Valentine from that soundtrack.
Yeah.
Because the original score was done by Kevin Shields of My Bloody Valentine. So
Jesus and Mary Chain are on that album or on that soundtrack. Peaches is on that soundtrack, so it's pretty good.
Yeah, fantastic movie, great soundtrack. Right, that's a soundtrack I would actually like get on vinyl. Like, I'd get that in record form. It's a good one.
Yeah, it's Sofia Coppola, the director and writer of that movie, has very eccentric tastes, and one of the great things about her movies is the music that she chooses, and she chooses some very, very good music.
Agreed.
Yeah. So that's if I remember my history correct, that's the first time I heard Peaches was from that movie, and I sought her out after that, and I came across this song, which I thought was absolutely perfect. Like you said, it's such a dirty glam rock type of song.
Yeah, and I got to be honest, I wasn't too keen on the verses at first. Like, I really preferred the super high energy, chaotic parts of the song. But even those grew on me over time, like, and especially once I picked up on the rhyme schemes she was using and how she's basically rapping the verses, then I started to really appreciate those more as well. And I almost want to say I can't find a flaw in this song. Like, I just think it's a great song top to bottom.
No, I agree with you. I think it's absolutely lovely. It's a perfect rock song, and fits that time period so well. You sort of have that. This is the precursor to the Me to the Me movement, the women's right movement that sort of happened a few years ago. And Peaches is a very strong woman in rock and roll, and she doesn't take any shit from anybody. So this would have been the precursor to all that.
Yeah,
The
and
Me
it also
sorry, it's the Me Too movement. I apologize.
yeah.
Me Too movement.
The song also reminded me a lot of Hole.
Yeah.
I found a lot of point of comparisons there, and that's why I even thought like this may have been recorded in the 90s, just because it shares a lot of those similarities in tone and sound. So yeah, it's interesting to me that it's 2006. That's later than I would have pegged it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So,
I also didn't expect you to like find new music that came out in 2006. I thought you were done listening to new stuff by then.
you know that's a really good point. One of the things I was going to ask you in future podcasts is, did you want to get into some more recent music that I've been listening to? Because there are a few bands, some Australian bands that I really dig that I've listened to recently. I've been sticking to sort of older music, but yeah, we can listen to some newer tracks that I really dig.
Yeah, sure. And if you do that, then I'll do some older stuff, some pre 2000 stuff.
Cool.
I mean, I already have with some of the old school hip hop, like the Wu
Yeah, yeah.
Tang and the Nas and all that, but I can dig deep and find some stuff you haven't heard.
Okay, we won't do it for the next episode because I already have a song picked out for you for
Yeah.
the next episode. But we'll do it for the next episode, episode 93. I'll get you to listen to some newer tracks.
Okay, cool. Sounds good.
Now, when I say newer tracks, what I really mean is like anything, younger than 20 years. So pretty much your age.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm talking about, really.
Okay, fair enough. Hit me with it.
Yeah. Before we wrap up on Peaches, I just wanted to tell you about some of her song titles that she's had in the past.
Sure.
Again, it's very tongue in cheek, double entendre. Two Guys for Every Girl is a song which deals with threesomes. Rock the Shocker, which centers on foreplay, and Stick It to the Pimp, which is about
Sticking it to the pimp.
Yeah, which is a backlash against hip hop chauvinism. So she's not afraid to bite the hand, if that makes any sense.
Nice. I like that.
Yeah.
That's what rock and roll is about, right?
Yeah.
What a lot of good music is about is not adhering to the status quo and speaking up about how you feel about things that are happening in society. That's what all good art is about, I think. So
Exactly.
another reason
Yeah.
for me to respect Peaches in addition to this great song.
One of my favorite genres of music is punk rock, and I think while this is definitely a glam song, there's some elements of punk rock there as well, because you're sort of spitting in the face of society and spitting in the face of the of media, of whoever's in control, the elites, if you will, of who's in control of society. So I definitely like that because of that.
Yeah, all good stuff.
Yeah, cool. I kind of thought you would dig this song. It's a pretty good one. So yeah, so that makes me happy that you dug it.
Yeah, it's right up my alley. And when I as I've been listening to it, I've thought like, oh yeah, he knew what he was doing with this one. This was a good pick, a very carefully selected good pick. So
Cool.
Yeah,
All right.
kudos.
All right. Let's get on to your song.
Yeah, so for this week, I've got you listening to the song "Working Out," which is one of my personal favorite songs by J.I.D. I recently saw J.I.D. in concert. He was fantastic. He performed the song and killed it. And we did his song "Crack Sandwich" several months ago from his newer album, which you liked for the writing and rapping, but felt it was a bit flat musically, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I thought it was really subdued. Yeah.
Yeah. So while this song is also subdued, I hope it gives you a bit of a different feeling. So Darren, why don't you just hit play on "Working Out"?
Yeah. Look, on everything, I gave everything and got nothing back. Ain't looking for it, no pat on backs. That ain't how we got. Where the fuck we at? Mama called. Where the fuck?
Due to technical difficulties we are working out, you'll have to wait till next time to hear what Nick and Pete think of this song.
All right. So we're going to listen to our independent artist, which is a band we've heard before called Mermaid Waters from the Gold Coast here in Australia. We're going to listen to a song called "Hold a Grudge," which is a very heavy hitting song. So we've listened to the song before, but we listened to the demo version. So this has now officially been released as a single. So thank you very much, Mermaid Waters. I love this song. It hits, and it hits hard. So so this is Mermaid Waters with "Hold a Grudge." And Nick, we'll talk to you next week.
been listening to Just Hit Play. To contact your hosts, Peter and Nick, or to be featured on an episode as musical talent, email justhitplay7300@gmail.com. Keep up to date with news and announcements by following on Instagram and Facebook, linked in the show notes. Subscribe on your favourite podcatcher to tune in next week for more sonic delights. And if you can't wait till then, check out the Just Hit playlist on Spotify, linked in the show notes. A special thanks to Braden Munch for the theme song, and thank you for listening.